What's good, G Life? This right here is beautiful Killer Cali, California. You know, land of palm trees, beautiful weather, sandy beaches, and all that good stuff. It is also gangbanging capital, home of, gangbanging, where it originated from, with thousands of documented gang members and hundreds of different kind of gangs within all of California, especially the southern portion. Now, it is not only home to actual barrios and gangs, but also home to fake barrios, fake gangs. Yes, this is also home to fake gangs. And today we shall be covering some of these fake barrios and gangs that is attached and associated with California and the southern portion of California. So with no further ado, let's get into it.
Street raised, I was brought up with a G state. Peep game, those who didn't catch one to your brain. Stay in your lane, never wolfed it, boy, I never fake. Watch them break, watch them fall, still I remain. Never change, never try to come and rearrange. Never hate, never tripping on somebody's plate. That shit is lame, leave that type of shit for the dames. The streets don't play, yo, catch up, watch your life escapes. One game, homie, that you shouldn't play. There's real soldiers in the streets gunning every day. This shit is normal in the vital part of every day. It ain't great, but I'm loyal, so I'll never change. I keep repeating, but I mean it, never lose your way. Heed the warning and the missing just for talking brave. Fuck my enemies, two faces and all the snakes. Now for this matter, just name the time and name the place. We'll get it active, fuck the gap, and I mean face to face. Real gangsters never fold, then we never shake. I was brought up to.
You are now watching M.O.D Entertainment.
Now, people are probably wondering, like, damn, what is homie gonna say? Now, to start off in covering the first of the fakest barrios within this area, we actually have to be maneuvering our way to the area that is known as East LA, East Los Angeles, where we're able to find one of these notorious fake barrios, within this area. Now, the barrio that I am referring to is the Barrio Viejo, which is known as Barrio Vatos Locos. Yes, blood in, blood out. Believe it or not, a lot of people actually thought this gang was real when it's not. Now, don't get me wrong. The Barrio Vatos Locos actually does exist. There's homeboy barrios that are, Vatos Locos. There's different Vatos Locos. Anaheim Vatos Locos, Rowan Vatos Locos, Elsinore Vatos Locos. So many different Vatos Loco gangs out there. Now, you're probably wondering, damn, these fools they took the name from the movie and wooty what. No, these gangs have existed way before the movie was even thought of and shit like that. These barrios have been around longer than the movie, so you can't say that they took the idea from the movie because the gangs were around before the movie. You get what I'm saying? But the VL is one neighborhood that people actually thought that it was an actual gang, but it is not. But let's take a look at the Barrio Vatos Locos that is located, según donde está el Pino. In the movie, that is what's considered their territory. Now, their territory must have been huge as fuck because apparently their territory extended from the Pino to Indiana, all the way to Michigan, and everything in between. So pretty much they ran all of East LA, according to the movie, in the movie universe. Now, people are wondering, like, damn, they must have been a large barrio. But if you look at the movie, in reality, there really wasn't that many members. I mean, there could be more members because, we didn't see Popeye until he was busted and stuff like that. So we could assume there was more out there. But essentially, it looks like there's just a few dozen of them. It does look like, El Gallo Negro and Crucito may have been the main heads or not. You know what I mean? But this barrio is very known for kind of putting in work because, when the Vatos were riding Tres Puntos, they just threw the trash can. They really didn't, roll up. The Vatos weren't even strapped. So, they could have, it was a 3-on-3. I don't know why they ran away. They could have just, handled it right there. Pero, I guess if breaking a window is gangster, it is what it is. So I guess that's kind of, I don't know if people could consider that ranking it. It could be looked upon like it was 3-on-3. I don't know why you guys didn't took it out, but, it could be. You know what I mean? So they do kind of put in work because, they did Dust Spider, so I guess, they kind of put in work, you know what I mean? Sometimes, but it's weird because it's like this video is known to have ex-police officers, detectives, chomos, well, at least, gays because Popeye was trying to bone Miklo and he still was able to claim, Vatos Locos, and they still kept him around, even though he wanted to bone another man. But I mean, I guess, I mean, I mean, I don't know. This barrio gets down kind of weird because then Miklo was sucking on Big Al's finger, so they're kind of known for sucking fingers too. So, and then Chewy's kind of like a dope head, I don't know. This barrio kind of puts in work and it's kind of down. Their members are kind of down, but not really, sort of, depending. I guess the situation. Obviously, their worst enemies are Tres Puntos. That's who they go at it with. That's who they, been at war. It seems like Vatos Locos is the larger one and the one that was putting in the most jale and was probably around. They're probably the oldest because Tres Puntos didn't even have a territory. So, meaning that Vatos Locos must have been established before then. So technically their territory was, from El Pino all the way to Indiana to Michigan and everything. Because you see them walking down the Michigan was their callejon. That's where they posted up and handled business, because they said, this is our callejon. But then where the Pinos at, that's a completely different area, but they say that that's their territory too, where they post up and stuff like that. And then their barrios also where City Terrace is at, because their actual barrio in real life is the actual territory of Michigan, MC Ford's, Little East Side, and City Terrace. You can even see the graffitis in the background. In real life, so that's like three different areas that belongs to three different barrios, but in the movie universe, it's all Vatos Locos territory. So it's a big ass territory. You got Chewy, you got who else you got from that barrio? You got Chucky. These vatos got some members. You got Miklo, Papay. You got Crucito, El Gallo Negro. We're assuming that was his nickname, El Gallo Negro. 13 KOs, dijo el vato. So, apparently, he was doing his thing, so they had boxers, but then again, he turned into a police officer, so I don't know. And then you have Miklo, sucking fingers, bro, so I don't know, carnal. Their members kind of want to bone guys and then suck fingers. I don't know how the Vatos Locos get down, and then they all members have a little placazo, like a little small tattoo, that says VL. I guess, that's their initiation, and it must be painful because, I mean, it was a little tattoo and the vato looked like he was dying and the vato was even like todo crying, because he wanted to cry. So I don't know what kind of tattoo that was, bro. So, maybe it was like done with like cobra venom or some shit, So the vatos are pretty witty, homie. You know what I mean? So you don't want no pedo with the VLs, because they've been right here since, when did that movie come out? Like the 1970s, carnal. So, pretty old barrio. You know what I mean? In the fake universe, in the fake, LA universe. So apparently, yeah, that's the Vatos Locos, like their VL. Now, another barrio that you have right here in the fake California universe is the barrio Tres Puntos, 3P. Tres Puntos, we can only assume means the 3 dots, mi vida loca. We're assuming that because people could say it's the 5 puntos right there in Boyle Heights, but that 5 puntos is Tres Puntos, so it wouldn't make sense. So we could only assume they mean the 3 dots. Now, Tres Puntos, as far as I know, there's no barrio out there that's actually named Tres Puntos. So, that one right there, there's not an actual barrio that exists that's named Tres Puntos, but apparently they're just writing 3P. They got we don't know if the Spider's the main head, but we're going to go ahead and assume that he's like somebody, special, even though Magic looks like he's older. He's been in the condado, so that could be, right. It's not really, made clear, who's the vato. And this barrio is small. It looks like the Vatos Locos are bigger than these vatos. They really didn't have that many members when they said, hey, Kyle, homie. It was only like 8 vatos, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, there wasn't really that many. You had Joker. Then you had the vato. Their homies are kind of down. Not really, kind of, because when, Demon's riding in the alley, the vato's like, hey, hurry up. All scared and shit, So I guess, and then Spider's like, hey, what's the matter with you? Hey, you got like a date or something? So he didn't even mind tripping that his homie was acting like a straight bitch. But, I guess as gangster, they do put in work because, they rolled up on Crucito and they let that vato like all, madreado. So, and then, they're also known for looking at vatos boning hyenas because, Crucito's right there trying to get his thing on. So they're kind of cock blockers, if anything. They're known as cock blockers because, he's right there, hey, I like mine medium rare. Like, pinche vato maniaco. What's it? You know, so there's not that many of them throughout the movie. You really don't see Tres Puntos all that much. You know what I'm saying? So as far as we know, Tres Puntos doesn't have a territory because, Spider was like, hey, I'm going to take over this alley right here. This is going to be my barrio. And then when they Palma Crucito and then he's on the hill, he's like, finally, this is my territory. So I guess they didn't have territory before. So they must be new and barely coming up, so... but it looks like against the Vatos Locos, the Vatos really, weren't a match for them, to be honest with you. I don't want to come and insult the Vatos, I don't want to get a calentada, but, pero serio pedo, my boy, I don't know, homie, it really looks like the Vatos Locos be serving them guys. So, I don't want to put that on their plate, pero, from the outside looking in, that's what it looks like, and then Spider got taken out and they really didn't get the payback, homie, so... I don't know, this barrio's kind of questionable, homie, pero ¿sabes qué? It's a real barrio. Well, it's a real fake barrio. So, that's all I can say about them, homie, R.I.P. to Spider, that vato was a big homie right there. Y el pinche Magic también iba a estar. Even though, ¿sabes qué? Magic was down for his, eh? That vato was a rider, homie, so shout out to el OG Magic, homie, de Tres Puntos, and R.I.P. to, Spider. That was a big homie that was putting in work, homie. Even though he could have ran after the Vatos from Vatos Loco. There was just 3 of them. They don't have no cuete. You seen it because they just broke your window. So you could have really just got back in your car and chased them and, cut them off and handle business. Pero, ¿sabes qué? Hey, I'm not going to teach people right here how they should have done their thing, homie. Pero, bueno. But that's just my opinion overall. And, yeah, that's what's up with the Barrio Tres Puntos right there, homie. Now, to find the next barrio, we still have to maintain right here on East LA. Where in the hell in East LA? In reality, bro, all of East LA. Because, this barrio wasn't really given a specific location, you know what I mean? But because they're that big, homie, that they must run all of East LA. You feel me? Because in the beginning, it just says East LA. Pero, ¿sabes qué? This barrio, is known to put it down, and it's the barrio VGV, homie. For those who don't know, that's Barrio Grande Vista. We could only assume it's probably on Grande Vista Street, or maybe they just mean as an overall a large territory that they're looking over. And this barrio is the dominant within this area of the fake California universe. They are the mero meros, the big VCV. These vatos have, witted homies. You have El Chuco, you have El Smokey, who's kind of down. I don't know. I think that vato used to be from Vatos Locos. I could be mistaken. But he looks like one of the guys from Vatos Locos. So he's probably a hood hopper, but I don't want to put that on his plate. Pero ¿sabes qué? I want to say I think, that vato could have been, So they need to keep an eye on that vato. Because, hood hopping like that, like how he did it, that's like some Chavala stuff, I think he meant Chavala, pero we'll go with Chavala. And this barrio right here, like I said, is the largest. A few dozen members to them. It doesn't look like they're as big as Vatos Locos or as crazy. It doesn't look like they put in that much work. But them Vatos do put in work. Mira, ¿sabes qué? You see them Vatos, you can see them strolling through the boulevard. That's where they like to cruise it. You know what I mean? That's where they like to do their thing, and they're also known for getting high off of spray cans. El Angel does, but they weren't tripping like Smokey, like, get off me, man. Get off me, man. When that was in the pitching coop. So, you didn't get that. Pero, ¿sabes qué? The vato was off-faded right there. That fool was dozing off, homie. He's got paint on his nose. Le dice su carnal. I think his carnal's the OG. Chuco's carnal's the OG from this barrio that left the life behind. It could be. It's not really, stated that that's how it went down. These vatos are known for lowriders y todo el pedo. Les gusta eso, y... ¿Sabes qué? They do their thing. El pinche Chuco, they were putting in work. They rolled up on their enemigas because right here, their worst enemies is the 1111 Street, eh? That's what they feud with, eh? That's their main rivals, homie. Pero ¿sabes qué? Both of these vatos don't get down like the Vatos Locos and Tres Puntos. Seems like them fools had more action than these vatos. Pero they do their thing because you see putazos and vatos getting jumped and they have rumbles in the boulevard, these shankazos and all kinds of shit. So don't, because... These vatos just don't let themselves. Don't get it twisted because, that vato was trying to press up on Chuco. And Chuco was like, big VGV. And he's like, yeah, VGV, 11th Street, y'all the same. And he was like, nah, nobody's like the VGV. That's right, homie. That fool was straight representing. That vato was like, get off of my mascara, homie. Chales, you ain't gonna say that we're the same as the enemigas. Eh? And these vatos are known for writing on little kids' hands, VGV. I mean, I don't approve of that, pero sabes que, so everyone means their own, aquí in the fake gangster universe. I mean, a lot of these vatos do a lot of weird shit, pero hey, who am I to judge? You know what I mean? El pinche Chuco, he was doing his thing, so yeah, they're right there handling business, still looking for the 1111 streets, so the guerra's apparently real, hey, RIP to Chuco, that was a real one right there. That fool was not fake like Miklo. He was not sucking no fingers, this vato was, fucking representing, putting in work. The vato never smiled. That's how you know he was with it, homie. Yeah, vato, he never cracked a smile. Maybe a little smile, I think only once, maybe. Maybe it wasn't even a smile. Maybe the vato just needed a fart. He was just holding it in, so he just had that awkward face on him. It could have been that. But I'm just saying, RIP to Chuco. The next vato that we have right here in East LA, and we can only assume is on 11th Street because we do see it. So their vato is on 11th Street, which is the vato, 11th Street, 1111th Street, Ranker. This barrio goes at it with the VGV, ¿sabes qué? But they do have down homies because, their homies would go into VGV's territory by themselves, homie, and be crossing them out. And then vatos getting jumped y todo el pedo. And then they still let him just leave like that, So at least them vatos, he went and he got his payback, so the vatos just didn't let it slide, so no te creas, So they handle business, ¿sabes qué? It seemed like the 1111th Street, their vatos were really doing things because they just weren't letting shit slide. Their homies, throwing putazos. They hit them fools up in the boulevard where they were like, 1111th Street, Ranker. Que hubole, the vato tenía huevos, homie. He was like, ¿sabes qué? Fuck these other vatos. On the wrong movie. But you know what I'm saying, homie? That vato, he was calling them out, pero Chuco handled his business. They started dancing right on the boulevard. Just a few incidents. I mean, I'm not throwing it out there, homie. I mean, it's all out there already, we ain't snitching on the vatos. Pero sabes que one of the vatos ended up getting shanked, homie. Estaba grave la cosa, But then they went back and they did get the payback, homie. So these barrios were going at it with each other, homie. Not like tres putos de vatos locos where there was no payback being done. These vatos were getting payback on each other, There was jumpings going on and stabbings and pinches balazos and shootouts and woo, man, these vatos were actually really doing the business, homie, crossing them out. No, esta guerra sí estaba perrona, güey. These guys were really going at it, homie. They weren't like vatos locos en tres puntos. These vatos were handling business, you know what I mean? So it looks like the 1111 Streeters, it looks like they're kind of deep too. So they're probably the same size as the VGV, you know what I mean? Porque, ¿sabes qué? When they rolled up to that casa, había un chingo de güeyes. So like, it could be 50-50, 50-50 in members, you know what I mean? And it looks like they all have established territories and they may have started around the same time frame, because from the looks of the territory's establishment and the members. So it looks like they're an equal match for each other. So don't get it twisted, even though, el pinche Chuco, RIP, that vato was, estaba chingón el vato putting in jale, pero ¿sabes qué? They don't count the 11 shooters out, homie, because these vatos were not just kicking back and letting these fools be like, this is our barrio, no one's like the VGV, and they're like, fuck you, puto, so, ¿sabes qué? These gangs were handling business in the fake California universe. So for these guys, I could at least say que sabes que le estaban poniendo gas, homie. You know what I mean? So them vatos were actually doing their thing, I guess. So that's what's up with the 11 shooters. Now another barrio that you have right here in California, the fake California gangster universe. You have the barrio 21 Street. Barrio 21 Street. 21 Street's barrio is actually located in West LA. Where exactly in West LA? Well, it depends, homie, because apparently their barrio was everywhere, homie. También, because they weren't actually in 21st Street to be exact. Maybe that's where they probably started, and these vatos just moved to the different area because, essentially where their hangout spot is at and where these vatos were doing their thing, sabes que that's not 21st Street, pero, or maybe they just didn't know their streets or geographically, or maybe they just meant that it was on 2nd Street, because in reality, it's actually on 3rd, pero maybe that they just thought that was, that it was the 2, and then they just, they said that they were number 1, so making it 2-1. I mean, that's just a theory, homie. I mean, because, where they're showing them, in reality, that's not really 21st Street, homie. So, for you vatos to be saying that. Pero, ¿sabes qué? The barrio is a mixed gang, because it's not just a Hispanic neighborhood, because they do have blacks and whites. So it's not just, all Hispanic neighborhood, you know what I mean? Because you got el pinche loony right there, y todo el pedo, you know? Because essentially where they're at, where they're posted and hanging out in their clubhouses at, you know, where they have the meetings and shit like that, is actually on Emerald and 2nd Street in Los Angeles. That's where that scene is at. Which essentially is like el pinche territory that like los, you know, like where Crazy Riders is at, and Rockwoods and Diamonds and CAR and all those barrios. That's where, like, you know, that's where that area is at, you know what I'm saying? On 2nd Street. So they're 2-1 Street. So maybe the vatos, you know, like I said, they're on 2nd Street, but they're number 1, so 2-1, you know? So it could be. I mean, I don't know. I don't really know, homie, you know, pero sabes que, or maybe, I don't know. Or maybe they just started off with 21 members in the beginning, you know, and they're posted in the street. Quién sabe, you know, and I think their main head was El Frog. He was an informant, pero sabes qué, that's their big homie. You know, I don't know, the vato was kind of throwing rata, pero hey, sabes qué, yeah, I'm not gonna put that on this plate either, homie, pero I'm just saying, homie, there's kind of some funky shit going on right here. And then you got a bunch of vatos just right there nodding off El Gabacho, and they smack him in the back of the head. But one thing I will tell you about the 2-1 Streeters, they put in Jale, homie. They feud with the Crubs. They feud with the Crips and Bloods. That's who in the fake, you know, universe. That's who they go at it with, who they have war with. You know what I mean? But 2-1 Street, hey, they're pretty deep, homie. These vatos, you know, are pretty deep, and they're still getting in youngsters. You know, they got in Frog's little brother, who we're gonna call Little Frog, or maybe he could be Toad, or he could be a tadpole. You know, pero sabes que, I don't know, they really didn't say his name. Pero, you know, they were putting in work, homie. These vatos will get rolled up on, and then they'll go get the paybacks, and so these vatos are known to not let it slide, homie. So no te creas eso. These vatos, hey, and they're also known as cop killers, homie, because they did smoke el pinche hotch. So these vatos were putting in jale on the Juras too. You know, nobody was off limits, homie. These vatos were just doing it. You know, they were doing big things, homie. No te creas. You know, like. You know, even though their big homie was kind of like snitching, pero, you know, apparently he showed, or maybe Big Looney schooled the rest of them, because that vato kept the G, homie. Until the very end, homie, that vato, mi respetos, homie, R.I.P. to Big Looney right there. Ese sí era cholo de verdad. That vato was a gangster. You know, mira, pinche flano y todo el pedo, creased up. El pinche vato está bien chingón. So, you know, 2-1 was handling business, and they are known to be the creators of the 2-1 dance. Right here that you see. Mira, nobody could two-step like that, my boys. Look at, it's the technique, bro. Look at the technique, bro. It's all in the movement. Look at the lean like that. Oh, my boy, the shoulder movement. Oh, bro, that's technique right there, homie. Not just anybody could do that, homie. That right there, that shit takes skills, homie. You know, if you're not, hey, sabes que, I don't even recommend it if you're not trained in this art of dancing, because you could throw out a hip, homie. So, you know, you better watch out, homie. You know. You don't want to be right there and just like a fucking hip and shit, you know, and be like your abuelito, you know when you gotta help him because it's fucked up hip, you know, y como chinga, like, fuck, otra vez, man, like, I gotta get this, you know, so you don't want to be like that, homie. So I don't recommend you try this dance unless you've been properly schooled by, you know, a real one like Toad or Miklo or Chuco. You know, oh no, there's R.I.P. Dispensa. Or maybe that vato's busted too. Oh no, he probably got whacked already for snitching, pero I don't know. ¿Sabes qué? I'm just saying, 2-1 right there was doing things. They do the gangster boogie, homie. Nobody has the gangster boogie like these vatos, homie. You know what I mean? These vatos have bolos de verdad, homie. That should be cracking. Even the Pac-Man can't stop it, homie. Serio. But yeah, that's what's up with the 2-1 Streeters right there.